Welcome to phase 3, everybody, of the MCU. So we begin with Civil War. Shit, I'll tell you right now, after Ant-Man, this is the movie that was most excited me, you know what I'm saying? So, we start off in Nigeria. Guys a little bit scattered, you know, you have Captain America, Wanda Maximoff, Black Widow, Falcon, all working to take down Crossbones ever since his, let's say his death and revival at the end of Captain America the Winter Soldier. But then for me, what got me the most is when he said, "Yo, Bucky." I was like, oh, damn.
You know he knew you. Your pal, your buddy, your Bucky. What did you say? He remembered you.
Was such a wow moment for me, and knowing that I was gonna get in Civil War was just such a... It brought me peace. After the incident in Nigeria, right, everyone looks at the Avengers and says, nah, these niggas aren't really, you know, they can actually cause more harm than good. That actually reminded me of what my dad once said. He said, one man's freedom fighter is another man's terrorist. So as much as they could have done great in the War of the Avengers, but they were also causing harm, because understand, it's all good that, oh no, they saved New York, but if your family was the one that died, you kind of look at it and say, not for me, mate, not for me. And I understand why the Sokovia Accords came into effect, because they were like, we're trying to put just a little bit of rules on you guys, because you guys do whatever the hell you want. And sometimes it goes against other people's agendas. I don't know, I'll be honest with you, in the Accord side, I would have sided with Steve, eh? Like, people giving us orders can always say, go here, go where you don't want to go, or what's the name, stay out of it where you see that you need to intervene. We go forward, we see, that was the first time we see Chadwick Boseman's Black Panther. Wow. Like, I was very interested to see it. Like, okay, Wakanda, we got a nod to that in Age of Ultron with Ulysses Claw, and they did name drop Wakanda. So it was like, okay, we're pushing this Black Panther storyline. So I don't know, Zemo, like, he did a lot of work to get as far as he could, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was able to dismantle them from the inside. You know, like the whole distrust, you don't trust me, you don't trust that. I understand they already were a fragile entity following the events of Age of Ultron, the Avengers. And this all, it was just the fun nail in the coffin. There's a scene there with, I think, it wasn't a court yet, but it was Dora Milaje versus Black Widow. And that, for me, was a very interesting scene. And then for the first time ever, we were introduced to Tom Holland Spiderman. Wow, I don't know, I wasn't the biggest fan day one. Like, he broke the internet with that hello there, hey guys. And it was very interesting to see that Sony and Marvel can finally cooperate.
Hey, so this isn't Isaac, I know, right? This is Ethan, I edit the videos and stuff. So Isaac forgot to give a review score for Civil War, so I slid into his DMs. Probably the first person who's done that in a while, am I right? No, enough about that. I got his score 9 out of 10. Solid movie, great. Would have been a 10 out of 10 in his immortal words as Sebastian Stan took his shirt off, but he didn't, so 9 out of 10. But yeah, back to Isaac.
Here we are, Doctor Strange. First thing I want to speak about is Tilda Swinton. Understand, how do you guys feel about the recasting, the casting in the first place? Like, she was supposed to play a ancient, like, wise man, leader, the ancient one, and instead they cast a white female. And I don't know, me, I didn't really care, but some people said, yo, it's a little bit of, like, the way Scarlett Johansson plays Asian people.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
But hold on, that's kind of wrong. Like, let my Asian people be played by Asian people. Let my Asian people be played by Asian people. I said ancient. But yeah, I just want to get your thoughts on that. And then let's get right to Doctor Strange. Stephen Strange was first name dropped in Captain America the Winter Soldier in 2014. And this is the first time he's actually appearing on screen, played by Benedict Cumberbatch. So I watched this movie, I'm like, this nigga's an actual dick. Understand? Yashu was he's a great guy he's a great surgeon. Understand? He literally is just mopping the floor with everybody else. Guys, I'm the best to do it. Stay out of my way. So it's like, okay, very interesting. Lead us. Lost the ability to use his hands because he wanted to be in a Lambo on the phone in the middle of the rain, driving ridiculous levels. The guy was passing and weaving cars like it was nothing. Understand? Like, and then boom, he lost the one thing he was good at, and boom, he fell apart from there. Watching Stephen Strange become the Sorcerer Supreme was very interesting. You know, like you at least get to see how he was, let's say, as a medical student, because he had top grades and all that. He was quite a brilliant neurosurgeon, and here we saw him become a student of magic. And like as it unfolded, you saw Stephen Strange learn and try to unlearn certain things at the same time. Like he learned to be a sorcerer, but he was still learning, trying to be a neurosurgeon at the end of the day, because he was like, I just want to heal my hands, then be gone. You know, I don't need everything this place has to offer. You know what I'm saying? Like, you go to the fridge, you grab your ice and you dip. You don't need everything else that's in the fridge. So he was saying, oh no, I don't need everything. I just need to know how to fix my hands. I don't need to know how to freaking portal myself to Kilimanjaro. I don't need to know how to slow time. I really don't. The Dormammu fight versus Doctor Strange is very interesting. It showcased again his intelligence. Like, yo nigga, I know what the fuck I'm doing. And that whole thing showed the true power of the Time Stone. Like, they did name drop boom Infinity Stone. You're like, oh shit, we're actually in the Infinity Saga. Because with a movie like Doctor Strange, with a movie like Civil War and Ant-Man, right, you kind of forget about the larger scheme of things. You know, like for me it was like, okay, because in those two movies we only cared about Earth, and Doctor Strange kind of put Earth on that map, and then eventually we see Stephen Strange take up the mantle of the Sorcerer Supreme. So the Earth has its Sorcerer Supreme, and we have another Infinity Stone in play. The end credit scene was Nightmare. He was finally taking power from sorcerers. But I don't know. At the end of this movie, I gave it a solid 8 because I felt like, nah, this is it gets better with time. Like, the CGI was good, the battles were good, the motivations were actually great, and it didn't feel like a waste of my time. On to the next. Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I don't know really where to start, so I'll just start at the beginning.
Thanks, Captain Obvious.
Whether you like it or not, this is actually a family film. Because we see the Guardians returning from Guardians 1. Hey guys, we saved the galaxy. We're kind of are now a big deal. They aren't really quite a team, but they're getting there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see the Sovereign, they hire the Guardians. Like, yo, we heard what y'all niggas did. Just come save us one time. And it's like, nice. As per the previous movie, wow. Dave Bautista, everybody returned, and it was just such a nice, like, I very much enjoyed it. And as the movie goes on, you realize that Ego actually is the villain, you know, because he's been doing this for centuries, looking for his kids and killing his kids once they don't possess the celestial gene. To connect it back more to family, Nebula and Gamora's relationship. Understand, Gamora just, for me, the fight sequence on Ego's planet, where Nebula said, look, every time you beat me, Thanos replaced a piece of me with machinery and used to beat me still. You understand? Like, she got her brain removed from her nose. She understand everything that she was because of Gamora and her inability to beat Gamora. But also, could you not see that I need this win? I'm 4 L's in a row. You know what they do to me when I lose. And we see it time and time again how Yondu just forgives Quill. You know, he's like, nah, Quill will come around, Quill will come around. And you actually start to see the father-son dynamic. You know, like Quill always said, you know, I didn't have a father, but he was kind of raised by Yondu. But then he says, oh no, Yondu isn't my dad. You know, that it doesn't have to be biological, because most parents die. It really matters who steps up in that sense. So you can see this is quite a dysfunctional family. And when they finally defeated Ego, it's because Quill used his heart instead of his head, and he was fueled by the loss of his mother to beat the man who not only birthed him, but the man that also killed the murderer. You know, to him, he's not really my dad. He's a murderer. He killed my mom, and I'm like, valid, 100% valid. But watching Yondu realize, look, I brought this guy almost 100 kids, and he murdered them. So I'm gonna do right by my boy, the one boy that I didn't bring. I'm gonna do right by him. I'm gonna save him. And watching Yondu sacrifice himself was noble. Really was, I'm not gonna lie to you. I looked at that and I was like, cock. The whole thing of, he might have been your father, but he was never your daddy, and you're like, damn. But it was such a touching film, not gonna lie to you. I gave it a straight 8.5. And yeah, I do feel like it was very well done by James Gunn. Boyfriend.